Good evening, everyone, and welcome to tonight's council meeting. First up, we have a proclamation this evening for our retiring judge, Judge Bill Hutton. If you'd like to please come up here. I've known Judge Hutton for a few years. No, I did not have to go in front of him. I did make a threat, though. I wanted to see if he, on his last day, if he wanted to have a little thrill, and I'd come and interrupt his court and he could throw the mayor out. So he kind of laughed. He thought it would be a good idea to do it. So we do have a proclamation for you for the Honorable William W. Hutton in recognition of your 22 years of dedicated service to the city of Bonner Springs as municipal court judge.
Thank you, Mayor.
We got something else for you. We also have a proclamation for you.
All right.
Whereas the Honorable Judge Bill Hutton began serving as Bonner Springs Municipal Court Judge in 2002, and whereas Judge Hutton is a longtime resident of Wyandotte County and longtime supporter of Bonner Springs, and whereas, in addition to serving as Municipal Court Judge to Bonner Springs, Hutton has volunteered his time with multiple organizations dedicated to the betterment of Wyandotte County, and whereas he has impacted the lives of many people in Bonner Springs. And whereas Judge Hutton has made the decision to retire from his judgeship in Bonner Springs. Now, therefore, I, Thomas A. Stevens, Mayor of the City of Bonner Springs, Kansas, do hereby proclaim September 25th, 2024 as Judge Bill Hutton Day in Bonner Springs, and urge all citizens of Bonner Springs to congratulate and thank Judge Hutton for his many years of dedicated service to the community.
Thank you.
Any parting words of wisdom?
I'm gonna turn. I don't need a microphone. I've never used one in court. It has been a joy to work with all the folks at the City of Bonner Springs. I have served under 4 mayors: Steve Brenneman, Clossie Smith, Jeff Harrington, and Tom Stevens. I've served under 2 full-time city administrators and countless city council members. Wonderful police department, currently led by Chief Ney, and police department that's been wonderful to work with. And more importantly, Julie Hurley and Chrissy Abramovitz have been wonderful people. And they are why municipal court in Bonner Springs is successful. They're why you have a municipal court you should be proud of. And I've enjoyed serving with all these folks. Thank you very much.
And I did get a little ahead of myself. We do need to have our Pledge of Allegiance now.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
First item on tonight's agenda is citizens' concerns about items not on the agenda. This is an opportunity for citizens to address the mayor and the city council on the record in the open public meeting. No immediate action will be taken on these issues in the interest of fair and transparent city government. All issues will be investigated, researched, or addressed as necessary, and with consensus of the city council, placed on a future agenda. Again, this is for items not on the agenda. Is there anyone who would like to speak this evening? Please step forward. Go ahead and hit the little button, turn it green, and then give name and address if you could.
Just at the base of the microphone. Yep.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. You can set that aside. On the on your speaker mic right here. Mr. Abart will take care of you.
Thank you.
Name and address, please.
Okay, hello, my name is Pamela Poe, and I own a commercial property located at 125 Oak Street here in Bonner Springs. So I'm going to read a definition to you. Definition of abuse of power means the use by an official of his or her vested authority to improperly benefit another official, person, or entity, or using such power to improperly discriminate against another official, person, or entity. I'm going to give you a very brief because we don't need all the details. But on Saturday, September the 7th, I asked a city official about a trailer that had been parked for weeks in the parking lot by Centennial Park. I thought, wrongfully, that this trailer belonged to an individual that owned their own private lot and was attempting to help Kobe's Bar in parking. I questioned the city employee in an attempt to help Kobe's. I had no idea this particular trailer was owned by the city. What started as a question regarding said trailer quickly was made about an email that was sent by the city weeks prior about a different topic, then quickly and aggressively turned into why I haven't conveyed my use of property with the city yet, and then to why do I have black paper in my windows, all of which aren't required or against codes. When I asked the economic developer to turn to the city to calm down, she responded with, "Just wait until I have codes come to your property. You just wait until Monday, Pam." To which I then asked if she were threatening or blackmailing me. Many other things were said, but that was a short version. My question for the council, since I followed step one by speaking with Amber Vogan and speaking with our mayor, I'm now to step two, as I have not had a response from said employee, or at least an apology, where a small town apologies would be accepted. So my question to you all are there forms to fill out to file for misconduct and threatening me with abuse of power? What are the channels for me to follow through with my concern, and what will be done to said employee? Thank you for your time.
Ms. Poe, thank you very much. We'll talk to Amber is going to be joining us in the meeting tonight. We won't respond to it tonight, but I will check with her.
Okay.
I do know you've had a conversation with her. I know evidently the resolution wasn't to your satisfaction. I will check to see if there's any additional steps that can be taken or not. So
Thank you.
I'll get back to you. Is there anyone else who would like to address the City Council?
Hi, I'm Paul Barrett. I'm here tonight as treasurer of the Chamber of Commerce. I work at Union Bank and Trust, so 309 Oak Street. I just wanted to make sure that the City Council knows how much we as a chamber appreciate your support and the city's support in hosting Tiblo Days. It could not happen without all the different departments from Public Works, PD, Fire Department, the City Manager's Office, the Tourism Economic Development Department, all have done a fabulous job. So I just, also, as Judge Hutton asked, what are you doing here? What are you going to complain about? And I said, hey, it's okay. We can come here and just show our appreciation and gratitude. It does take a lot of work from employees, from community members, businesses, service organizations, different committees. Mike Klaus is the Entertainment Committee Director. He does a phenomenal job. It's thankless. You have country, somebody wants rock. You have rock, somebody wants country. But he works to get sponsorship dollars to bring free concerts in so that all of our residents and people outside our community can enjoy. I want to have a shout out to Megan Gilliland, who is the Tourism Economic Development Director. She works on a lot of events that come to Bonner Springs, has formed relationships with a lot of vendors and food trucks. And if you had a chance to be there over Tiblo Days, we've never had that many vendors. There was 150, and it wasn't just filling spots. It was a wide variety. It was not a bunch of water softener people, which they're not going to come to town anymore now that the water plant is coming online. But it was just a wide array of good food trucks, and that just, you know, the rising tide lifts all ships. So that helps out with the entertainment. The entertainment helps with the vendors and makes for a great experience for our residents and people who come to our community, and that we can show off over that weekend. We hope they come back to visit our bars, our restaurants, our shops, and maybe call Bonner home because of events like Thibodaux Days. So again, thank you for your part in supporting all the different organizations and departments. And again, what Megan has to deal with all the vendors, there's lots of personalities, and that's a committee I stay way away from. So kudos to you, Megan, and to the council, Chief, for you and your staff. It was a great event. If you guys hear of anything that we can do better to make it better, open. That's what we strive to every year, is to make next year better than this year. So anyway, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Barrett. Appreciate it. Is there anyone else who wishes to address the City Council this evening? Seeing none, I will then move on with new business. First up is the Kansas Avenue project change order. Oh, I'm sorry, my apologies. We have the consent agenda for approval. You guys are supposed to keep me honest, yes, I know. That includes a minutes of the September 9th, 2024 City Council meeting and the claims for city operations. Staff have anything they wish to poll? Is there any resident that wish to poll anything? Council? Seeing none, I would accept a motion.
Mr. Mayor, I make a motion to approve the minutes as read.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion by Mr. Reeves, a second by Ms. Blanks. All those in, well, we'll go ahead and do a roll call. Start down. Go ahead and call for a roll there, Chrissy.
Yes.
Gurley.
Yes.
Wood.
Yes.
McMahon.
Yes.
Blank. Yes. Long.
Yes.
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 Now on to new business. Starting out, we have the Kansas Avenue project change order. I'm assuming staff presentation.
Good evening, Frank Abart, Public Works Director. And I got some good advice from Mr. Barrett as I was coming in here to make sure that these are not expenditures. These are investments in the city that I'm here to talk to you about tonight. So I'm going to heed that advice. This first item is Kansas Avenue project change order. As you may recall, this project we were able to do pretty much under traffic, and it's substantially complete. The landowner on the south side would like some additional work done to control erosion a little bit better, and we agree that that will contribute both to the city as well as to the landowner. The work has to be delayed, however, until October, I believe sometime after October 1st. He apparently has animals, bulls or something in there that he doesn't want us messing with the fence. The project is substantially complete with the exception of this change order. So I'm before you today asking for your blessing or approval.
Thank you, Mr. Abart. Any additional input from staff? If not, I would open it up to any of our citizens who wish to speak on this matter. Seeing none, I would go ahead and entertain a motion.
Mr. Mayor, I'll make a motion to approve the change order with Legacy Underground Construction, LLC, for the Kansas Avenue Culvert Project in the amount of $16,598.80.
Second.
I have a motion by Mr. Shannon, a second by Mr. Reeves, and we'll start down there with you, Mr. Shannon. Any comments?
Okay, this, I'm assuming when you said on the south side, Frank, that's the landowner that has that large property with all the cows and everything?
That would be correct, yes.
Okay, and you said that how did this come about? Was there more erosion or what? Or
Apparently, after the construction was completed, and he was able to see the finished product, he believed that there needed to be some additional work done, and in addition to the fence, as well as some erosion control activity. And our engineer reviewed it and said, well, yeah, this will actually contribute to reductions in velocity of this flow of this water and stuff. It's going to help us as well.
okay,
But
I was just
it's,
concerned because I thought.
it's one of those things where you see it on a piece of paper and, you know, he signed off on the easements, but then after it's built, it looks different. And
That's great, as long as both sides
Yes.
see that it's needed. Okay, thank you.
Nothing.
Nothing here.
No questions, thanks, Frank.
No questions, thank you, Frank.
My only question is, we've got the money to cover that.
yes, we're going to take this money
Yeah,
from
we've
the
got enough
stormwater.
money to cover this investment.
That's right. We're going to cover this investment from the stormwater fund. This is the plan.
Any, Mr. Reeves?
That's it.
Okay. I've got nothing other than just, I'm glad we were able to pull that project off without having to close the street down, because I think that would have created a nightmare
That
out
was
there.
a big deal.
So, not only for our residents, but also those who come and visit our main shopping area up there
Yes.
at Kansas Avenue and K7. So appreciate all the hard work that everyone did to make that possible. So there's nothing else. I will go ahead and ask for a vote.
Yes.
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 With that, we'll move on to item number 2. Construction-related services agreement for the 138th project. I assume you're up again, Mr. Abart?
Yes, I am. Frank Abart, Public Works. This is a much larger investment, of course. But this is the final piece that we need to put in place for that 138th Street project, which is still scheduled to start in February and still anticipated to be completed in 2025. But this is the last piece of the contracts and everything. Essentially, this provides all of the construction-related management and reporting requirements and things like that related to the federal and state requirements. And as you can see, there's a rather lengthy state contract involved in here where our inspector, this Wilson, had to be approved by the state prior to actually providing this service for us. So that's what this is all about. I'd be glad to answer any questions anybody has when we get there.
Thank you. Any other staff input? Seeing none, I'd go ahead and see if there's any citizens who wish to respond on this. Seeing none, then I would go ahead and entertain a motion.
Mr. Mayor, I make a motion to authorize the interim city manager to execute an agreement for construction-related services with Wilson and Company LLC for the 138th Street project for the amount of $499,200.
Second.
We have a motion by Ms. Blanks and a second by Mr. Shannon. So we'll start down there with you, Mr. Reeves.
I don't have anything else. I'm just glad that this thing's finally going to get going.
Ms. Long?
No questions, thank you, Frank.
No questions, thanks, Frank.
None here.
No questions, but thank you.
Thank you.
Nothing further.
Thanks, Frank.
Thank you. You call it an investment, and it's wonderful.
I have one quick question. Just out of curiosity, do we know, I know we're talking February 10th, that's the plan, right, as of right now, that when they're going to be
I'm
out.
saying February. I mean, if
But
it's a
do we
blizzard
know-
on the 10th, we're probably not going to.
Okay, the 11th, the 12th or something. Do we know exactly if, they talked about doing it kind of in some phasing, is that still the plan? And do you know which, are they going to start south and move north, or do we know yet?
That will be dictated by the contractor, but I know that they do intend to do some phasing. I don't know the details of what that will be. They're probably working on that right now. I expect there'll be a pre-construction conference either the middle of November or early December, and that's where they will lay out all of their proposed details to the state and us. And
Okay, so after the first of the year, we should know.
oh, yes, by the end of the year, sure.
Thank you, Mr.
I would
Abart.
expect to know.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Abart.
I think you and I should cut the ribbon to ring in the new year on 2026.
You should. It's been a long
In
road.
my driveway, yeah.
Any other questions, comments? Seeing none, I would go ahead and call for the roll. Vote?
Yes.
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 Okay, on to item number
Thank
3.
you.
Thank you, Mr. Abart. Oh, are you sticking around? No? Item number 3, the Interpol to Carpel Interface Agreement. Chief?
Good evening, Mr. Mayor. Billy Knapp, Chief of Police. What I have before is a request to enter an agreement with Interpol, which is our record management system, to connect to the Carpel system, which is the Wyandotte County District Attorney's Office's new court system that they utilize for all reports and discovery, things when we need to send something to the district court. Kind of some background, we were advised of this in about April, that they were switching to this system, and we had to switch by May 1st, so we're kind of trying to figure out all the details of what it's going to entail for us to get this working. Our goal is to decrease staff time. Right now, it takes a significant amount of time for staff to put in a single case into the Carpel system. You imagine if you have to upload hours of video, you're waiting for all that video to upload. And the way the Carpel system works is you have to wait until it's all uploaded, or otherwise you'll crash your computer. So this interface is going to allow the data to be kind of streamlined and systematically sent straight to Carpel.
Any other input from staff? Is there any resident that would like to speak on this item? Seeing none, I would entertain a motion.
Mr. Mayor, I make a motion to authorize the interim city manager to execute the interface agreement with Huber Associates of Interpol to provide an interface between Interpol and Carpel.
Second.
So we have a motion by Ms. Gurley and a second by Mr. Kipp. That's the one I think I heard first. So. With that, we'll go ahead and start with you, Ms. Blanks.
No questions. Thanks, Chief.
No questions, thank you.
Nothing else here.
Mr. McBain?
Thanks for all you do, and this expedites the system. That's even better.
Sounds like it'll make a difference through the whole department, and, I mean, wonderful.
Yes, ma'am.
We've been a little burned by software and computers before, so I'd love the less administrative time and more police time. That's great. I hope it works out wonderfully, and appreciate your work on this.
Thanks for all you do, Chief.
And then I will ask this question, since we've had such a great working relationship with our UG partners. Is it just our system that's having the issue going to be able to connect and upload information, or are the other three agencies in town?
Other agencies, we don't quite know what they're going to do yet, and they kind of don't know what they're going to do yet. Some agencies are trying to manually just deal with the manual time it takes to do this process. Some of the agencies are not playing well with others, is probably the best way to say it. So it's kind of up in the air. We're all trying to figure out how to make this work in the best interest of each agency.
Now, did the district attorney's office kind of work with everybody else, all the police agencies, to see if there was going to be an issue with, or did they just go ahead and just, this is what we're doing? And
we were advised in April and told we had to switch by May, and so that was the only dialogue that occurred.
So in other words, they're basically, this is what we're doing, period, and
yes.
gotcha. Okay, well, I know it's not a large amount. You hate to see that have to be expended if it wasn't necessary, but it's definitely better than having to actually hire another individual just to sit there and do this work. So if there's any other comments, questions? Seeing none, I would go ahead and call for the vote.
Shannon? Shannon?
Yes.
Kip?
Yes.
Gurley?
Yes.
Wood?
Yes.
McMahon?
Yes.
Blanks?
Yes.
Long?
Yes.
Kip? Or Reeves?
Yes.
Just trying to make me look good and see. On to item number 4, police department vehicle purchase. I assume that is why you've remained up there, Chief?
Billy Knapp, Chief of Police. What we're requesting is to utilize funds that were actually budgeted for 2025 to purchase a police car in 2024. As I kind of laid out in the memorandum, our police cars are at a state where they're ending their life cycle and we need to replace them quicker. The availability of cars is a big factor in that, of our ability to get new cars. We're able to reach out to a couple vendors and find that there is some availability for this year still, which is why we're coming to you now to ask for that opportunity to purchase the car while there's one available. This kind of comes on a hill of a lot of maintenance costs for our police fleet, to the point where we've had to down 2 cars permanently. So we're going to be absent those 2 cars because it's not cost effective to continue to maintain those.
Thank you, Chief. Anything additional from staff? Is there any resident that would like to speak on this matter? Seeing none, I would entertain a motion.
Mr. Mayor, I make a motion to authorize staff to purchase and equip one police department vehicle utilizing CIP funds scheduled for 2025, the amount not to exceed $80,500.
Second.
We have a motion by Mr. Shannon, a second by Mr. McMahon. We'll go ahead and start with you, Mr. McMahon.
No questions, just thanks for all you're doing. Vehicles do wear out over a period of time. Unless you had a silver car?
We do. We actually had to take one from detectives and put it in the fleet for regular patrol operations because we're down so many at the moment.
Gotcha. Okay.
Makes sense.
Chief, can the existing equipment, the computers, all the stuff that you need, can that be transferred to the new cars, or do you do that, or how does that work?
We try to take a lot of the equipment out of an old car and put it into a new car. Every year is a design change for Ford and Dodge, and so some of those pieces don't fit anymore. As far as computers, we kind of help with the computer overall replacement. So we don't have to buy 18 computers. We try to buy a new computer with every car, so we're not always trying to spend $70,000 to purchase computers for all the cars at a random pace.
Thank you.
Ms. Blanks?
No questions. Thanks, Chief.
No questions, thank you.
Mr. Reeves?
Nothing more here. Thank you very much, Chief.
I just had one question on the, I noticed the invoice that was attached and scanned was considerably lower than the 80,000.
Yes.
Is that what you're hoping you're going to be able to lock that one in?
Yes.
And if not, that still gives you some buying room?
Yes.
Okay. Any other comments, questions? Seeing none, I'd go ahead and call for the vote.
Blanks?
Yes.
Long? Yes. Reeves?
Yes.
Shannon?
Yes.
Kip?
Yes.
Gurley?
Yes.
Wood?
Yes.
McMahon?
Yes.
Thank you, Chief. Next item is the ordinance amending the pay plan. I'm assuming that is going to be you, Ms. Vogan. It's very light. Can we hold on just a second, Ms. Vogan? We're going to see if we can. Hey, do you want to go ahead and give it a test shot?
All right, how's that?
Much better, much better.
Better? Okay. McGrath Human Resources Group come in and present the findings of the compensation and benefits study during a workshop. Following that presentation, they gave a couple of presentations to our staff where they could ask questions about the study, and they also presented to the library board and talked with Jack, the library director, regarding their implementation of the study as well. One of the recommendations from the study was to adopt a new salary structure and pay plan for 2024 and to raise that pay plan in 2025 by 3%. So this ordinance puts in place those two pay plans, one going into effect October 1, 2024, and the other going into effect January 1st, 2025. For the October 1, 2024 pay scale, we were given information from McGrath on where to place all of the employees within the study onto the new pay scale. So we will be doing that on October 4th, pending approval of this ordinance. It will also adjust for compression and give them years of service in position adjustments as well, so we won't have everyone down at the minimum. All of the salary adjustments for 2025 were factored into that budget, so there will be no additional budget increase for 2025. For 2024, the salary adjustments can be absorbed into the budget. It may require some amendments to the special revenue funds later in the year, and we'll have a few other amendments that we'll need to do as well, so we would present those all at the same time.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Vogan. Is there anything from staff additional to add? Is there any of the residents who would like to speak on this item at all? Seeing none, I would accept a motion.
Mr. Mayor, I make a motion to adopt an ordinance revising the city of Bonner Springs base salary structure for years 2024 and 2025.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion by Mr. Reeves and a second by, we'll go with Ms. Blanks. Sorry, Ms. Wood. She was closer. And with that, we'll go ahead and start down here with you, Mr. Shan. Do you have questions for Ms. Vogan or anything in general?
No, but thanks for all you've done. And to everybody, I know this is a big thing for everybody, and I know there's always concerns and joys and concerns, but this looks really good. And I appreciate all your hard work and the staff's hard work. Thank you.
Nothing. I was really impressed with the clarity of the ordinance amending the pay plan. Whoops. Forget technology. I was really impressed with the ordinance, the details and the clarity. So thank you very much.
They did a good job putting it together. Thank you.
Ms. Blanks?
I know it was quite the undertaking for you and city staff, so thank you for all your work on it.
No questions, thank you.
Nothing else here. Thank you, Amber, and everybody else worked on this.
Appreciate all the time and effort everybody has put into it. A couple quick questions. I just want to make sure, and I know this is a loaded question. Employees are never happy. They always want more money, but was there good feelings, emotions from the employees as this has moved forward and has come from the council? Have we heard any feedback? Are they happy in that at least we're working towards addressing any potential shortfalls that we have?
I think for the most part, they were satisfied with the study and some of the things that came out of it. I know that they'll be wanting to know what the next steps are as far as benefits and some of the non-monetary things that we can put in place. So the Employee Engagement Committee will be working on that so that we can see what the highlights are that staff might want to see put in place from that study. I know that quite a few people read it. We did have a lot of good questions at those meetings for employees, and we will be sending out letters to their rate will be and why they're moving or why they're not. Because with these studies, it's part of it that everyone doesn't move. However, on January 1st, with the 3% increase, even if they didn't get an increase due to the salary study in October, they will still get that 3% increase at the beginning of the year.
Thank you, Ms. Hogan. I appreciate that answer. Any other comments, questions from anyone? Seeing none, I would go ahead and then call for the vote.
Long,
Yes.
Blank,
Yes.
McMahon,
Yes.
Wood,
Yes.
Gurley,
Yes.
Hip,
Yes.
Shannon,
Yes.
Reeves,
Yes.
Thank you, Mrs. Logan. We appreciate it for your time this evening. On to item number 6, 2025 budget hearing notice, special revenue funds. Who's doing our presentation this evening? Ms. LaPointe?
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Tilly LaPlante, Finance Director. This is a public hearing notice to schedule a public hearing for October 14th. This would be published this week. These are the 5 special revenue funds that were not included in the original budget hearing. They are for the swimming pool, Tiblo Transit, Summer Ball, the Bonner Point TIF, and the Bonner Springs Center SID. Those budgets are the budgets we discussed this summer. They just were left off of the hearing notice, so we're scheduling another hearing to have on October 14th.
Is there anyone from residents that would like to speak on this matter? Seeing none, I would entertain a motion.
Mr. Mayor, I make a motion to approve the public hearing notice and schedule a public hearing for the 2025 budget special revenue funds for Monday, October 14th, 2024.
Second.
So we have a motion by Ms. Blanks, a second by Mr. Reeves. We'll start down there with you, Mr. Reeves.
Nothing here.
Ms. Long?
No questions.
Ms. Blanks?
No questions. Thanks, Tilly.
Mr. McMahon?
No questions.
Ms. Wood?
If it's as clear as all of your presentations, that'd be great.
Ms. Gurley?
Nothing.
Thanks.
Oh, you're getting off early, I think, on this one, because I don't have any questions or comments either. So if there's nothing else from anyone, I will go ahead and call for the vote.
McMahon,
Yes.
Wood,
Yes.
Gurley,
Yes.
Hip,
Yes.
Shannon,
Yes.
Reeves,
Yes.
Long,
Yes.
Blanks,
Yes.
Okay, that brings us up to reports. First up is the city manager's report.
I just wanted to highlight a few things in the city manager's report. For the staff in-service training day on October 14th, we have the schedule set. We'll have some sessions on team building, safe driving, liability claims, cybersecurity, that's a big one in our world right now. Customer service, diversity, equity, and inclusion, anti-bias, and anti-harassment are some of the highlights from that day. So I'm looking forward to that. I hope to see you all on Friday at the ribbon cutting for the new water plant at 10 a.m. We're all very excited about that one. I know that I am. There's also a fire open house. We've attached the flyer on October 5th from 11 to 3, and that's when they will also have the official push-in ceremony for the new fire truck. So that will be another exciting time for our city. And then we have one more. The murals downtown, one is complete on the Fancy Fanny building, and then we'll have another one that will be going onto the Bonner Springs Integrated Health Facility at 2nd and Oak. So on October 24th, it's a Thursday from 4 to 5:30, the 2 artists will be downtown at 2nd and Oak to talk about their murals and talk with the public about it. And we've also invited them to a council meeting in October so that they can present a little bit of information to you on the process and the ideas for their murals.
What was the date on that again, on when the artists were going to be there?
The artists will be downtown on Thursday, October 24th. from 4 to 5:30 p.m. at Second and Oak.
Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Vogan. With honor, what we'll do is go on to the city council items now. We'll go ahead and start with you, Ms. Blanks.
Yes, please come to the ribbon cutting this Friday, the 27th at 10 a.m. for our water treatment plant opening. Thank you to Frank and his team for coordinating that project. Next Wednesday, the 2nd, is the Bonner Springs Edwardsville Chamber of Commerce Golf Tournament at Dub's Dread. We still have sponsorship availability and any door prizes for raffles, and all the proceeds from our tournament help create our 2025 Bonner Springs Seniors scholarships for that. Farmers Market has 2 weeks left, I believe, 3 weeks, 2 weeks. So just thank you to them and all the work that they do in highlighting our new pavilion and making it the center point. I know attendance has gone up and sales have gone up, so it's proved to be a good win. So thank you to all the work that they do. And then Saturday, October 5th, the NAACP is hosting a voter registration session at the library from 1:30 to 3:30, and members of the League of Women Voters will be there as well. So if you're not registered to vote, please vote, and please check your voting status to make sure you're registered. Thank you.
Ms. Long?
Bonner Animal Rescue will be at the farmers market this upcoming weekend with a free pet food giveaway, so that's always a plus in the community, so help spread the word for anyone who might be in need of pet food.
Mr. Reeves?
Just happy to be here. Thank you.
Mr. McMahon?
Nothing from me.
Ms. Woods?
Nothing from me, but I really appreciate the excellent reports that we get.
Ms. Gurley? Mr. Kipp?
Had a nothing else on that. Sorry, I'm lost.
We can always come back to you.
I'd like that.
Okay. Mr. Shannon?
Nothing.
And with that, we'll go ahead and we'll skip Mr. Kipp for right now.
I'll come back now.
Okay.
All right, sorry. I spoke to resident Eric Kramer. I believe you went over and visited with him on the next to the
I did.
Compass site. Again, problems with that developer and that site. What leverage, what can we do? Can we bring them before council to talk? This has been years of problems with them. I mean, do we see any commitment that they're going to improve? Because there's still a lot of stuff to happen, right?
I know there's a couple issues that Mr. Kramer brought up.
And I don't speak to his because I haven't gone over. I'm going to go over and see his. I'm not saying everything there happened or anything.
What I would do is I would sit down with Ms. Vogan when she returns, and then also Mr. Lee, you know, our planning community developer director, and work with them. And we may have to have maybe a conversation with Scannell then and see. At the current time, as long as they're filing the development agreement, and they're staying within the confine, you know, properly following the development agreement, that there's not a whole lot we can do other than are there ordinances that they are violating. That would be the only potential issue that we could bring them on if they're doing something that's causing destruction on another property. If those have been resolved, the question becomes is, I know people may be upset, but if those issues have been resolved, you know, is there anything to really go back to them with?
I think some of those have been resolved, but I've had at least a dozen different, you know, discussions, problems over the past while, and we're just getting into construction phase where they're going to disturb a lot more stuff.
That's what I would do then is suggest
So
that.
all I see is future problems coming up aside from this one that's current, if wherever that lands.
So that would be my suggestion, is get a list of the items that you see as the issues that may come up, and go and have them sit down with, like I said, Ms. Vogan and Mr. Lee, and have that discussion with them and let them deal directly with the developer.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. And with that then, on to, I know we had a lot of stuff on the city manager's report, and I am glad to see so many things taking place. And I know a lot of the stuff that was on there got kind of covered. I do want to kind of mention, Ms. Long mentioned about the voter, I believe it was you that mentioned about the NAACP and the voter registration. Was it you, Ms. Blanks? I'm sorry, Ms. Blanks. One of my big pushes has always been about getting people to vote. I'd love to see a much bigger turnout than we have. One of the concerns for a lot of people right now is the mail service and mailing ballots. I just want to make sure to point out that the library now has installed, the Wyandotte County Election Office has installed a ballot box at the front main entrance of the library. It is monitored and secured 24 hours a day. And so if you want to do a mail-in ballot, you can drop it off there and it'll be picked up by the Wyandotte County Elections Office. And that'll save you the potential risk of mail delivery. Also at the library is also conducting a Wyandotte County Health Department is also providing a annual mobile mammogram event on October 12th. And I know health is important, and there are things that sometimes people kind of forget about or they put off. And so I believe this is an important event for everyone to be aware of. That is, again, October 12th from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. And then also, our Parks and Rec should get a little bit of a shout out there. I am so glad that they are bringing Story Trail back into the city limits of Bonner. They did it here a few years ago, and I know I walked with my grandson along the trail, and we had a real enjoyable time, and went up to the Ag Hall for a couple of years, and it's back now. That is going to be on October 26th, so looking forward to that, and having everyone from our community come out and walk the trail and pick up a few treats for the kiddos. So with that, does anybody have anything else? Any questions for me? Mr. Reeves?
No.
Okay. With that, then I would accept a motion to adjourn the city council meeting at 8:18.
Mr. Mayor, I make a motion that we adjourn this meeting at 8, whatever you said.
Second.
We have a motion by Mr. Reeves, and I think the motion was made by Mr. Shannon down there. So we'll just do a voice vote. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Anyone opposed? We are adjourned. Oh, no, it's not a record, but it's better than